Yes, stand by, campers. We are 40 seconds to launch. Over. Roger that. Snoopy says it's looking like a beautiful day to take off into week 2 of VBS. Over. Roger that. The setting is set. The way is clear to make our way to Compassion Camp. Over. Roger that. We are ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. One moment. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Set it back up. Okay, we're okay. You got it. No, they'll never notice. Okay, we're all right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have launched. We are liftoff. I repeat, we are liftoff. Let's have a great day here at Compassion Camp. Everybody buckle up. It's time to go and be brave. Yes, Mission Control, this is the captain speaking. And I thought I would let you know that it looks like a bird or plane. No, it can't be. Is it? Here I come to save the day.
It is I, Mino, here to help you learn more about compassion for week 2 of Compassion Camp. Made me a cape. No expense is too big for you guys. Welcome back, everybody. Week 2 of Vacation Bible School, and I'm so excited that you have decided to join me today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Well, what are we going to learn about today at Compassion Camp? I'm so glad you asked. Today, we're going to talk about how compassion means being brave. Being brave. When you hear the word brave, what do you think of? I always think of the Atlanta Braves. That's what I always think of. But then what do you think of? After you think about the world's greatest baseball team, what do you think about? Yeah, someone who's not afraid to do something. It means taking a risk sometimes. To be brave, to be compassionate, means taking a risk. So we're going to talk more about that and learn more about that. I know you saw a space shuttle in the beginning of this video, and I don't know if any of you this summer watched the launch with them going to the space station. And so that's brave. I would have been scared. And it's okay. It's okay to be scared. Being brave doesn't mean we're not going to feel scared. But being brave means doing what we feel is right, what we think God might want us to do, and sometimes that can be hard. So we're going to start our time together with a song from Illustrated Ministry called Brave Enough. I need my cheat sheet to make sure I tell you the right words. I need my cheat sheets to make sure I tell you the right words. Because it's a really fun song, and it's going to be really easy, it's going to be catchy, it's going to stay in your head all day. And if it doesn't, that's because you'll have the other songs we'll sing later in your head all day. So, brave enough. So, we are brave enough to love, we are brave enough to show compassion, we are brave enough to listen and tell the truth. We can be brave, this is the chorus, we can be brave, because we are filled with love from the bottom of God's heart. We can be brave. We can be brave. That's it. You know all the words. Don't need those anymore, do we? I'll add the words to it. Let's sing, shall we? Here we go to sing a song.
can be brave. We can be brave.
I absolutely love that song. And I'm so grateful for my friends, Mel, Catherine, and Sadie, who will be here with us the whole time for VBS, leading us in songs. And you know, it's time to sing Give Me Oil in My Lamp. And we're gonna add a new verse today. And that new verse is Give Me Rhythm in My bod. Let me boogie for you, God. So you can boogie. You get the point. Let's do it.
Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning, burning, burning. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Hallelujah. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning, burning, burning. Keep me burning till the break of day. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King. Give me gas in my Ford, keep me trucking for the Lord. Give me gas in my Ford, I pray. Hallelujah. Give me gas in my Ford, keep me trucking for the Lord. Keep me trucking till the judgment day. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King. Give me rhythm in my heart, let me boogie for you, God. Give me rhythm in my heart, I pray. Hallelujah. Give me rhythm in my heart, let me boogie for you, God. Let me boogie till the break of day. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King.
I never get tired of that song, and each week I'm just gonna get more and more excited because we'll keep adding some fun verses. Let me boogie for you, God. So let's boogie for God, and let's put some gas in our Ford, and let's put some oil in our lamp, shall we? So we're gonna talk more about compassion being brave, right? Because our theme today is actually to the neighbor, being brave, and that's compassion. Sometimes our compassion helps us make brave choices. Maybe you can think of a time where you had to make a brave choice. And when we do, look out. God's power can restore our communities. Our friendships, and ourselves. Oh, these are all good things, guys. These are all really good things. We're going to hear a story about some heavy lifting, a massive hole, and some neighbors who took a risk to help a friend. Let's see how one act of bravery changed a community. I'm so excited.
One day Jesus visited someone's home. Everyone heard that he was there. They were so excited to see him because they'd heard he healed and helped people be a part of their communities again. A friend who was paralyzed had his friends take him to see Jesus. When the group got there, it was so crowded. There was no way to get to see Jesus through all the people. They had an idea. They climbed up onto the roof of the house, made a hole in the roof above where Jesus was. They lowered their friend into the room. When Jesus saw their faith, he was encouraged. He told the friend, "I see you and I love you. You are made whole for your community. Your sins are forgiven." Some temple leaders called scribes were watching Jesus. When they heard him say this to the friend who was paralyzed, they were angry. They thought to themselves, "Who does Jesus think he is? Only God could say these things." Jesus could tell the scribes disagreed with him, so he said to them, "I know what you are thinking right now. But what's easier, to say, 'I see you and I love you,' or 'Get up and walk'? I'll show you that it's possible to do both." With compassion, Jesus turned to the friend who was paralyzed and said, "Get up, pick up your mat, and go home. You're healed now." He stood up amazed. He picked up his mat and went home with his friends. Everyone was so happy. They praised God because they had never seen anything like this before. We might think we only need to be brave for big, scary things. We might think being brave is only for superheroes. But whether it's for a friend or stranger or family member or a neighbor or even ourselves, compassion helps us be brave. Sometimes being brave means being like the friends by showing up for someone, helping them carry their burdens, helping them get to where they need to be, and standing with them. Sometimes being brave means being like the friend who was paralyzed by sharing your own story and asking for what you need. And sometimes being brave means being like Jesus by fully seeing and accepting a person.
Who was brave to you in this story? What do you think it means to be brave, and what does it feel like?
What do you think the friend who was paralyzed felt like when he was healed? How do you think he felt when he was able to be in his community again?
I really love what our friend Yolanda read for us at the very end of that. Being brave means being like Jesus by fully seeing and accepting a person. Being brave was for that friend who was paralyzed, who got healed. Being brave was for that friend to go back into the community. Do you think he might have been a little scared? Do you think the community was a little shocked? So we need to remember that part of compassion is being brave and taking those risks. So, if you remember, on your take-home sheets, for those of you who got them, you have a little coloring to do, and there's some more questions for you to ponder and ask with your family at home. And I hope you're doing these because these are great discussions to be having with your family. I colored mine from last week at the table. Ooh. And I will make a little garland here. I'm going to do that this week to hang all the different ones up and make a little garland to remember our time at Compassion Camp. But I don't know if any of you were able to make an amazing door like I was. Remember our crafty person Michelle led us in an awesome craft last week? Well, here's my welcome door. I made it like my dog, Buzz. Let's see what we're gonna do this week. I'm so excited. Flying. It's tiring.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Crafting with Michelle video. I am so excited you are here with me this evening. So we've been talking about empathy, and last week we talked about being welcoming, and today we're going to talk about being welcoming in our neighborhoods. So I thought what a fun way during this time to leave fun rocks around our neighborhoods for our neighbors to find, and that would make them smile. So the first thing I did for this craft is I went on a walk around my neighborhood and I found the perfect rock. So you'll need to do that first. Once you have your perfect rock, you will need a paintbrush, some paint, and some water. And I put a paper towel down so I don't get my table dirty, and I'll also be able to dab my paintbrush on it. So after I got my rock, I thought about what will make people smile. And I thought, probably a rainbow would make people smile. So I'm going to get some paint. And remember, with paint, a little dab will do. Gonna start with some purple, and you don't have to make a rainbow. You can make anything else you would like to. You might want to make a happy face, or maybe draw a picture of your favorite video game character, something to leave around your neighborhood. So since I'm changing colors, I'm gonna dab my brush. Get another color, and make sure that you talk to your parents before you do this so they know that you're painting, and they find a place in their house that they would want you to paint at, because sometimes painting can get a little bit messy. And again, I changed colors, dipped it in my water, dabbed my brush. I'm going to add a few more colors. And the fun thing about painting on rocks is that not all of them are smooth, so you really have to work at getting all of the paint down into the grooves of the rocks. And I'm going to add one more to my rainbow. Okay, dab it. Then I think I'm going to add a little bit of a background just to give my rock a little more pop. And it's easy to do backgrounds because you don't have to really worry about staying in any lines. And again, just pick something that makes you smile, because whatever makes you smile is going to make one of your neighbors want to smile too. So I'm painting on my yellow background. And you can paint as many rocks as you want to. Maybe you could hide some rocks at a park for other kids to find. Or maybe you could leave them on your neighbors' front porches for them to find. That would be a nice surprise for somebody to open their front door and see a beautifully painted rock there. It's just another way to show our neighbors that we care about them. And I have finished painting my rock. I'm going to close my paint just so we don't have any accidents with it. And I'm going to carefully show you my rock. It is a rainbow with purple, blue, green, and orange and a yellow background. I'm going to let this dry, and then in a little bit, I'm going to go put it on my neighbor's front porch for his birthday to brighten his day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye!
I can't wait to paint rocks this week. It's gonna be so much fun, and place them around in certain spots for people to find them. I like it, I like it. Our time here is nearly over. It's been a wonderful day getting to hang out with you and be brave with you and act like a mighty Mo, a superhero with you who can fly. You gotta be brave to be able to do that. I hope you'll find ways to be brave this week. Being brave sometimes means we don't know what will happen when we show up. The friend who was paralyzed didn't know if his friends would help him. He didn't know if he would get to see Jesus. The friends didn't know what would happen when they got to the house to see Jesus. Maybe they wouldn't get into the house. Maybe the religious leaders or even Jesus would see them and turn them away. Maybe the friend who was paralyzed wouldn't receive the healing miracle. Compassion helped each of them be brave. The friend who was paralyzed had courage that helped him trust his friends and ask Jesus for help. The friend's courage made them determined to do all they could to help him. Jesus' courage showed the friend who was paralyzed he was loved and accepted. We can be brave because we are filled, that was my Pookie accent, we are filled with God's love. And God always promises to be with us. It's time for our closing prayer / song. This week, we're singing one of my favorites. I'm going to say that about all these songs, let's just be honest. It is called All in All. And I really like the first line, you are my strength when I am weak. Remember, when you're feeling scared but you want to be brave, God is going to be that strength when you feel weak. I look forward to seeing you next week. The Lord be with you. Go in peace.
You are my strength when I am weak. You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as a precious jewel. Lord, to give up, I'd be a fool. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Taking my sin, my cross, my shame, rising again, I praise your name. You are my all in all. When I fall down, you pick me up. When I am dry, you fill my cup. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, save you. This is a great Mighty Mouse voice.
I love it so much.
So I was like, Dad.
You did. You totally did.